All right, so let's get Casey on here because Casey is a little on the confused side. She had a really, really good friend, and then she gets married, I think, and then it's been 2 years since she's been close to her friend, and she really doesn't know why, and wanted our help to call the friend and find out. Hey, Casey.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm nervous, but I'm good.
All right, what we got going on here? I mean, because we always say best friend is like a sister, so what happened?
It's kind of confusing. So, long story short, last time I really spoke to her, I was engaged, right? I had this huge wedding planned. The love of my life. I was going to marry the love of my life. He's amazing. We are now married, but at the time we weren't. And planning a wedding, I don't know if you have, but it is horrendous. It's stressful, and it's so expensive.
Yeah, Bert wouldn't know anything about that right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm going through the exact same process.
So, it turns out me and him just said, you know what? Bump it. We're just going to elope. So we ended up just going down to the courthouse, getting our paperwork signed, calling it a day. We didn't have to deal with guests, planning tables where people would sit, planning drunk people, paying for everyone's, whatever. So then I told her, my best friend, I told her, and I said, hey, I just got married last week. And she was pissed. I mean, she chewed me in, chewed me out, but just about getting married, and then didn't say anything. So I'm not exactly sure why she's upset. We just haven't spoken in 2 years. And I just need to know.
Okay, so let me ask you some follow-up questions here. So after you tell her you're getting married...
Not getting married, got married.
Got married. That's immediately when the communication between you and she stopped.
Yes.
Okay.
So did she appear to be mad at the fact that you got married or at the fact that she was not there when you got married?
It is unclear. She just said, I can't believe you, and then disappeared, ghosted me.
Yeah. So, Casey, I would hope that if my, at that time, fiance decided, you know what, we're just going to scrap the whole wedding thing. We're going to go and we're going to elope, just the two of us. I hope my friends wouldn't make it about them, and we would be supportive and understanding of, that's what we wanted to do. We had a couple come over to our house recently for a dinner, and they told us the news they were getting married, and we're so excited for them. We were so pumped for them. And they're going out to Napa, and they're doing it just the two of them. And I'm like, congratulations, that's so wonderful. And they're like, you'd be surprised how many people are pissed that they're not going to be there and be a part of it.
I bet. Right.
And I'm like, seriously? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to go to Napa, but it shouldn't be about that. If you're a solid friend, it's not about you being able to be there. It's about them being able to marry the love of their life and however they want to.
Yeah, Casey, I'm a big old believer in this theory that people build up a character resume with you, right? So you know them as one person. So when they act so differently from what you've known your entire life,
something's up.
So what happened leading up to it? Did she disapprove of this guy for a while? Was there tension over him? She didn't think he was good enough for you and you ended up eloping? Because there's got to be something so different that she's acting completely foreign to what you know her as.
And that's where I'm confused, because she's never been like this. She's never been shallow. I don't, nothing. She was very supportive. She was there when we were picking out dresses and going shopping. She was just so supportive the whole time.
Wait.
And has been so supportive. She's not perfect. We're all human, but...
Casey, how far into the wedding planning did you guys decide to pull the plug and elope?
We were pretty far in. I mean, we were able to still get our deposits back, but we didn't send out invites.
Okay. So it wouldn't be a money issue anywhere down the line with her?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Because, there's expenses depending on what people are, what their roles are in the wedding, there are expenses for because I'm assuming she's the best friend. She was in the bridal party.
Well, yeah.
Did she already have her dress? Did they already get all their dresses before you bailed?
Well, we did look at our. I didn't bail. I redirected.
Right. True enough. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we did go dress shopping, and I think they were able to put it and make payments. So she might have started making payments.
Okay, that could be something.
All right.
That could be a little bit of a red flag right there.
Sense.
Maybe.
All right, Casey. So our studio director, Tommy, reached out to her. Her name is Elaine, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Contacted Elaine, and we definitely got a response from her. So give us a couple of minutes here. We'll get you back on, and we'll tell you exactly why you guys haven't been speaking for the last 2 years, okay?
Thank you.
It's a Bert Show.
The Bert Show.
So Casey here decides to elope, and when she did that, it appears as though she lost a best friend. They haven't spoken in 2 years.
Yeah, and that she says she's racked her brain and she can't figure it out. She can't figure out why, because she decided to elope, that her best friend would just completely bail on her. So they had started the wedding planning. It was overwhelming. It was too much, and she and her fiance at the time were like, let's just go to the courthouse. Let's elope. Let's forget everything. And they did. So after they did that, she told her friend the good news. Guess what? Elaine, I'm married. And apparently, according to Casey, Elaine lost it. Like, she just went off on her. And the two haven't spoken since.
So, Casey, we had our studio director, our show director, Tommy, reach out to your friend Elaine and find out exactly what's up. So there was no back and forth between the two of you guys. You said, hey, I got married, and the last thing that you got from her was her going off on you, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. All right, so who is going to read the response that Tommy got? Mo is going to.
I appreciate your concern for our friendship and your efforts to reconcile things between us. Unfortunately, I am sorry to say that I am still upset with Casey, and I don't really see that changing. It's not just about her eloping. It wasn't just the fact that I wasn't there. It's the fact that I was asked to be a bridesmaid for her original wedding plans. I took my role very seriously and did everything I could to make sure the day was going to be a special day for Casey. I even did more for the wedding than the maid of honor, Casey's sister, who was supposed to be in charge. I spent a lot of money on a dress, jewelry, and shoes based on what Casey wanted. I was happy to do so because I wanted to support her and make her day special. I had also been working and spending money on a shower and a bachelorette weekend getaway. However, after all my efforts, Casey decided to cancel the big wedding and elope. Then, not only was I not invited, she didn't even bother to tell me about her change of plans until after the fact. I felt disrespected and hurt that she didn't value my time, money, and efforts. I also felt like she didn't care about our friendship enough to include me in such an important event. I understand that it was her decision, but I can't help feeling let down, disappointed, and used. So I hope you can understand why I'm still upset with Casey. I appreciate your willingness to help, but I prefer to just leave our friendship in the past.
All right, Casey, so you got answers, but how you feel about it?
I mean, her feelings are valid. I mean, I've been to a lot of therapy, okay? So I worked through some things. So her feelings are valid, but she just didn't communicate any of this. I'd be willing to pay her back, have a conversation. She's just making it all about her when it's not, which is why I didn't want to tell people this response of feeling owed.
Yeah, because two things can be true at the same time. I think some people have a hard time accepting that. And the fact that you wanted to cancel the wedding and elope, and that this was a moment you just wanted to have with you and your husband, that's your right. And then, like you said, Elaine is completely validated in her feelings of feeling used, and that she put in a bunch of time and effort and she got excluded. I feel like the disconnect here, like if it's your best friend, instead of just writing off Casey, like why not be like, I I'm upset because I spent so much time and effort and money into planning your bridal shower, into planning your bachelorette party, and I bought a dress and I know you shouldn't get married based on those accounts, but I wish you would have taken that into account before deciding to elope and like offered some kind of like compensation.
Sure.
Well, Casey, you did say that she got upset and chewed you out after this happened. She didn't mention any of these things in that moment?
No, she just said, how could I? That she couldn't believe me that this happened, and then hung up.
What is, this is kind of a sidebar, more of a superficial sidebar. What is etiquette on that? If you're so far down in the process of planning where the bridesmaids have gotten their dresses and everything, and then you decide that you're going to elope, is etiquette to pay for everybody's stuff that they already got?
I don't know. It'd be great if a wedding planner could call up right now and give us advice, 1-855-BERT-SHOW. Because in all the years and all the times we've talked about wedding, we've never discussed the wedding etiquette of if you're like in the throes of planning your wedding and you're getting close and then you decide to cancel and elope, what do you owe your bridal party?
Yeah. Now, she just feels disrespected across the board, but we're just focusing on this one thing. So at least now you know exactly how she was feeling, Mo. Did we cover everything there?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I always feel, and I have said this, I think, for 20 years on the show, best friend has a very special meaning.
Yeah.
You just don't throw a best friend away because you're hurt or you feel disrespected. That's a one-off right there. You throw somebody away or you end the relationship. I feel like when it's consistent toxicity, this was a one-off. I mean, how good of friends could you have really have been?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I do feel like I wouldn't be this upset if I were Elaine, but I also feel like if I were Casey, I would feel obligated to make sure that she got her money back.
Yeah, I would too. And I think that's why we asked the question, right? So people are calling up to answer that. All right, Casey, you got your answers here. She said she'd rather keep the relationship in the past, and now it's up to you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, see you now.
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.